All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to Network Live TV, where we're going to talk about how to increase your networking efforts locally, nationally, or internationally, as well as discuss things that might help you up your game online. And we are here weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Sabrina Watson, founder of NetworkLiveVirtually.com, where you can grow your business through creating live virtual relationships nationally or internationally, all over the globe. Our meetings and membership are totally free, so don't miss your chance to network and build relationships with amazing people. I also want to let everybody know we are looking for people who are absolutely serious about building their brand and business while establishing their authority and creating a larger circle of influence. The people we're going to be looking for have three main qualities. They're team players, self-motivated, and dependable. So if you feel like you have these qualities, please reach out to me and let's talk about the benefits of being a host with NetworkLiveVirtually.com. I want to thank my guests today for taking time out of their busy schedules to share their thoughts, to join us, and get introduced to you. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Eric.
Great morning to you.
We do also have Diana Sandora is going to pop in about 11:30 when you are on your way out, Mr. Eric. So that'll be pretty cool. So it's Monday.
Wow, I just gave Eric some props as you were saying when you're on your way out. No, Eric, I wasn't encouraging you to leave.
My feelings are already hurt. My feelings are crushed. I'm depressed. I'm down about. No, I have a personal training, boxing training at 12 o'clock, so I have to get ready for it.
Woo! How's that going?
It's going great. I've released 7 pounds in just 2 weeks of doing that. So I made a little tweak and it's been great.
Well, I feel your pain. Trust me.
No pain, no gain.
I know. I just don't get the kind of pain that gets me any gain. I just feel the other pain. So let me just introduce everybody real quick to Stephen. Reverend Stephen B. Henry, PhD, known by many online as The Wiz and just Steve to his friends. He is a small business consultant and online presence developer who has been called a WordPress wizard, and I can tell you for sure that he is. He's the founder of WizardsPlace.com and works with online professionals of all sorts, many of whom are coaches, solopreneurs, and home-based business owners. So when you need to begin or expand your online business, get your website in order to deal with all of that technology overwhelm. The Wiz delivers the solutions you need to take you from website to wealth. So there we go, Steve. There's your intro.
Oh, wonderful! I love the special effects there too. That's awesome.
The eek. Well,
you've been practicing that.
Yes, I just made it up right then and there. But I got to tell you, what is one of the sayings that we always say in the WordPress world about emergencies? Your emergency is not my emergency. It seems like there's been a lot of emergencies this weekend. So I know when there's an emergency, you can call Steve and he will get that emergency taken care of.
I certainly try.
One of the things that I've noticed, Steve, that newbies do in the WordPress world is they don't do the backups that we tell them to do. And then they accidentally install a new WordPress over their old WordPress, or they don't do the backups and they make some changes, or, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yep. Yeah. And it's
a little bit of advice about that.
It is so easy to do backups, whether you're doing them manually or you're automating them. And, it's there. I recommend 2 backup plugins that are free, so there's no financial excuse for not doing it. And one of those does automated backups, and you can set that to back up to the cloud, to something like Amazon S3. And if you do that, you can be doing backups weekly or even daily if you need to. If you're making a lot of changes to your site, you can keep 4 or 5 backups, and probably unless your site is huge, your account on Amazon will be free. And even if it meets the point where it tips over into the payment range, the price is crazy. My first bill on Amazon, after I had several hundred files up there, was 33 cents a month. Come on. So there's just no excuse for not doing it right.
Steve, you're not going to believe what my bill's up to on Amazon.
Let's compare. I bet mine's bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you paying?
Mine's up to $2.
$2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at $4.37.
You are? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you got me.
I'm a hog. I'm actually backing up a lot of client sites there as well. So plus I have all my training videos and other things there. But and I do need to do some housekeeping too. I have literally thousands of video files, big video files, and I'm paying $4.37 a month for hosting. It's unbelievably cheap. And as I said, the initial part, it doesn't even kick in until after you've passed a certain amount. They don't charge you for uploads. They only charge you for storage and downloads. So with backups, you're only uploading. You're very seldom downloading unless you have to do a restoral. And then they charge you for the storage, but the footprint for the storage is really, really cheap. Fractions of a cent for gigabytes. I don't know. I haven't looked recently at the chart, but it's scary how much you can put up there for free, and then how much you can put up. I mean, Sabrina, you're putting up all of the broadcasts, the sessions on Network Live virtually, and those are pretty healthy film videos. They're an hour long or so, and you've got 5 or 6 people producing one a week, at least, and popping those up there constantly, man. And you're paying $2 and change.
Yeah, I'm at $2 even, I think, almost. But
wow,
I've got something I want to tell you actually about MailPoet and Mandrill app here in a moment, because this is going to affect Amazon that I just got an email about. But first, I want to introduce Eric Lamar Smith, founder of My Hangout Academy and head producer for WebTVShowProductions.com. Eric specializes in getting maximum exposure for you and your brand through well-produced web shows. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. So glad to be here.
Tell us about those web shows. Where are they produced? Where are people loading them? Give us some lowdown on that.
Well, basically, I'm if you notice, the name of my company originally is called My Hangout Academy. I'm still a huge fan of being able to take your product and put it right, use the tool that Google has, which is Google Hangouts. However, just like what you're doing here with the Blabs are awesome tools integrated with Twitter and so forth. But my focus is really helping people, making sure that their video presence is great. If they need the technical support behind setting these items up, setting up the Hangouts, making sure your guests that are going to be on your show, they've got the audio, video, all that's in order. Everything is working so that people can have smooth shows. I like to broadcast. Matter of fact, last week I did a training on bringing your Blabs, your Periscopes, your Hangouts, whatever it is that you like to do, and bringing these into the world of Facebook. So there's a application that I like to use and talk about, so that people can bring all this into the largest social media platform. So we can live stream and syndicate shows in multiple places at the exact same time.
Awesome. So are people typically, is that being uploaded to YouTube, these shows?
Well, particularly when people use Google Hangouts, they're automatically uploaded to YouTube. But the shows are being syndicated primarily YouTube, Google, and Facebook. There's an application that I use that I integrate with Facebook while people are building websites and WordPress sites and so forth. I use an application called 22 Social, and we build these out for people. We host these apps for individuals, and basically it gives you a mini website presence right inside the world of Facebook. So when you're running Facebook ads, you want to track all your analytics. It's just one of the most smoothest and simplest ways of keeping everything inside of the world's largest social platform, and that's Facebook.
Now, I also saw, Eric, that they're doing some kind of 22 Social certification or recommended partner program or something along those lines. Are you familiar with that?
I'm just starting to become familiar with it. I've been working with 22 Social for
long time, I know.
Yeah, for 2 years. So I consider myself a partner. I'm one of the I am a marketing. I'm a part of their marketing arm, I guess you could say. That I do train on their application. I've been training on it for 2 years. I just haven't gone through their certification just yet, which is something new because their platform is really growing. You can create private Facebook groups, reoccurring subscriptions now right inside of Facebook, which is really cool.
Wow, all kinds of crazy cool stuff.
Yeah.
I only know that because somebody just mentioned to me that they were getting that certification. So Steve, Sherry asks, can you guys talk about the advantages of WordPress over simpler sites that are easier to understand for someone without a lot of tech skills? So I'm going to toss that right over to you.
Okay.
You know I have an opinion, but.
Yeah. Look, there's lots of opportunities, lots of choices online for what you do. But first, let me say this. Whatever you choose to do online, if you're building an online presence, especially if it's for business, it doesn't have to be for business, but if you want to create your presence online, and roll it out and do something with it, monetize it to some degree at some point or another, you need to do a few things. The first thing you want to do is get your own domain name. You want a domain name that is your address online. Now, that might be your own name, as I have one called StephenBHenry.com. It might be a brand that you've developed. Mine is WizardsPlace.com. It might be some unique word that you've put together. I own tickle.me, TIKAL.me. And that's a word that's been made up from a phrase. It's an acronym, actually, made up from a phrase that's fairly popular. And I was able to grab that. So you want to get that domain name so that you can build your brand on your domain. Wherever you go, whatever website you use, wherever you move to with your website, if you take it somewhere else, you've always got the same access to the website through. And there's different ways to couple that domain to any type of website you have. Then the next step, in my opinion, is you want to get your own self-hosted website. Now, you can go to free places like Weebly, or you can get a free Blogger account. Wix is another one, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with those, except you don't own the site. You can't take it with you when you go. If somebody comes to me and says, I've got a Wix installation and I want to move from there, I want to set up my own website, I want a custom designed website, or I want a WordPress website or a Joomla website, but I want to host it myself and take control, but I want all the stuff that I have on my current website and I want it to look like my current website, that's a big deal. Moving from many of those free platforms to your own site later, when you ultimately will decide that, it becomes a big deal, and it can be fairly expensive. The exception to that for a free site is WordPress.com. You can set up your own blogging site there. You can have some web pages and do some things. You have real restrictions there, however, on what you can do commercially. So be sure to read their terms of service. You don't want to build a website and then go there one day and find that it's gone. So that's important that you look at that. The advantage with WordPress.com is it's very easy to move your content from there to a self-hosted WordPress site later. Something a lot of people need to do, and that is, you can do that yourself. It's really quite easy. And if anybody ever needs to do that, contact me. I'll show you how to do it so that you can do it without any cost. So that's there. So then the answer to her particular question has to do with WordPress being simpler. WordPress is easy. It's complex. You can build a simple WordPress site for your own personal blog on your own domain with your own hosting, and Harvard Law School can use it for their online website. CNN can use it for their blogging purposes. Big companies can use that very same WordPress platform. It is extensible to huge, to use the current word that's floating around in the political scene. The thing about it is that because it is complex, because it has a lot of structure and features available for it, it tends to get overwhelming when you first look at it. But if you get a little bit of good coaching on how to use it so you can focus in on the things you need and only use those parts of it, it's a very easy system to use. It's probably as easy as using Wix. Might be a tad more, but what you gain from it, both initially and going forward if you need to expand. Sabrina, you've got Network Live Virtually, an awesome system with a lot of components to it. It's a membership site. It's a hosting site. I mean, it's just got all kinds of stuff. That's a WordPress site. You know, you go ahead.
Everybody talks about, you can only have like 10 plugins. I don't know where any of that come from because networklivevirtually.com's got over 40 plugins in it, Steve.
Yeah, good plugins installed properly, and 40 plugins is no problem. You don't want 350 plugins probably. If you get to that point, you want to start looking at some custom writing that combines some of the features you need. But to build a very involved site with a lot of functions going on, you can do that with WordPress. And if you want just
got to make sure
blog,
they can play nice.
That's the key, playing nice. It's like kids in a schoolyard, isn't it? You can have a schoolyard with 100 kids in it, or you can have a schoolyard with 10 kids in it. That can be a real mess. But yeah, it's there. So it isn't hard to use WordPress if you know how. So that's where you want to get a little bit of help to get started right. There's a lot of myths floating around, and people often get the wrong advice. And they don't get the help they need, and that leaves it kind of hanging.
I want to just also remind people, I think the moral to the story is own your real estate, right? Own your real estate. Then you have the ability to move it.
Yeah.
Eric, I want to ask you a little bit about 22 Social. There's a lot of stuff that 22 Social can do that people aren't aware of. And I know you can't screen share to actually show us, but can you verbally help people visualize the things that 22 Social can do for them and where they would find it at on their Facebook page? I think a lot of people don't even know that kind of stuff.
Well, the first place to find it, as far as if you've never been familiar or exposed to the app, go to get22social.com, first of all. Second of all, imagine just like what you do with your website. People go to your website. You want to make sure they have a video or at least a landing page. If you're offering something, they need to be able to land and see something. So 22 Social gives you that exact same look and feel. A place where you can go land, either have an image that describes what they're about to get into or a video. And then you have a button, a call to action. When the call to action is pushed, the feature is designed to capture their Facebook information that they have to confirm. So it's no sneaky ninja tactics or anything like that. They are confirming. When they confirm, because this box pops up and they hit confirm, you have embedded in your application your email autoresponder system. So then they fall into your list. So this is a great way to build your email list so that you can nurture your new prospects or your new potential audience. Once they've come to your event, you may be hosting a live event, or you may put up your recording of your blab inside of there. People, they're going on your list, then they watch the recording. I broadcast and stream all my Hangouts right inside of the 22 Social. One great thing is that if you're going to charge for your intellectual content, then it can be protected behind the wall of Facebook. People typically don't share their Facebook login information, but other registration sites, it's easy. Friends share it all the time. Here, here's my login password. But Facebook is pretty private, so people don't share that. So what the 22 Social does is it protects your content behind there. And oftentimes when I do a video, such as a Hangout, I then go in and turn that video into a Google Drive and I'll host it on my Google Drive. So therefore it's password protected if it's chargeable content for my digital courses and so forth. So, I mean, I could go on and on, but and like I said, the last thing I mentioned earlier was building the Facebook groups. So you can build a group which has a membership, and so then it integrates, and when people don't pay, then they're not in the group. So
really? And that's all through 22 Social?
Yeah, that's all through 22 Social. So I did a training last week on hangoutonfb.com. It was just, and you can go there and see the recording of some of the features that I highlighted and went through. I screen share and just talked about what the application is designed to do. Because really, when it comes to your online marketing, to your websites and all of that stuff can be seamlessly integrated. And so Facebook is a great catch between your ads to getting people to your website, and the 22 Social can be a nice buffer, because once you want to get them out to your website, you have buttons set up inside of there that takes them straight to your website that Steve will build for you and make sure they're structured properly and everything for you. So,
wow. Yeah, we're going to have to learn more about that. I want to take a moment, though, to introduce my friend Diana. Hi, Diana.
Hello.
What's up, Diana?
I think
Go ahead.
I got off work at 6 o'clock this morning, so I'm here.
I don't know how you do that. Let me introduce you guys to Diana Sandora. She has over 30 years sales and customer service experience in regular brick and mortar businesses. She's been searching for that same connection online for the past 15 years, and she has recently launched an online community dedicated to helping others be successful called Absolutely Right. Are you still working on that, right?
Well, actually, no.
Whoops. All right, then.
I actually, if you noticed, I've got a new Twitter handle. It's called Wanna Brand, and basically, it's focusing on being that person online, so that people are actually able to connect to you and understand who you are, instead of just being that person that may or may not be on the other side of the screen. So, it's more about getting people to understand what is involved with branding you. And I've got a brand new social media website. It's actually called it's socialmediabrand.me. That it's actually a social media software site. It's actually a brand new site. I'm actually very excited about it, and it's got social management, allows you to be able to do a bunch of really cool things that I'm in the process of launching that as well. So I got a lot of really exciting things going on.
Wow, that looks good. Let me share that link. Gentlemen, if you have links you'd like to share, please feel free. Socialmediabrand.me is the one Diana's talking about. So tell us a little bit about that, Diana. What's that going to do?
Well, the most exciting thing is that I do not know of any other social media dashboard that will allow you to have as many accounts. Now, it's just Facebook and Twitter right now. They haven't integrated anything else yet. But if you are a social media manager, for example, you can have as many as you want. So if you've got a bunch of different accounts that you're connected to as far as pages and stuff, you can manage all of those different accounts. And there are two things that I'm the most excited about. And one of them is, once you post something on your Facebook page, once they click on it and say, oh, that article's really good. Once they click on it, they're gone, right? How do you get that person to go back to your website? Well, there's something called, it's like a branding, and there's actually like a little band that's along the bottom of the page. And what it says is something, well, you actually decide what you want it to say, but you can have it say something along the lines of, if this is really interesting, click here to, get my newsletter, or click here for a free book, or click here to do whatever. And so now you've continued to capture that person, instead of once they've clicked on their link, that's gone. The other thing is content. One of the biggest challenges is, there's so much that we've got going on. I mean, I can definitely attest to that. And, how do you have content? How do you know what to post? What can you do? Well, you can actually get RSS feeds for anything and everything that you've got going on. And there's like this entire dashboard that you can put the RSS feeds in. And then you can go through and you can say, yeah, I want to post that. And then you can schedule those out until whenever. And so I'm really excited about it. And then of course there's one where I would do all that for you. So yeah, but you've got several different levels, and I'm working out all those kinks as well. Uh-oh, we've lost everybody.
You're
lost
muted.
Sabrina.
Are you there, Sabrina? She's there.
You hear us, but we don't hear you.
Here I am.
Oh,
Back again.
I made Steve a co-host in case I had to bail out of this joint, because you know how Blab is. So, Diana, is this a third-party product that you are like a reseller for, or is this something you've developed? Tell us about it.
It is a reseller product. I'm also a reseller. I'm I'm looking to get other people who are interested in reselling. And then I'm also looking for salespeople, so people who want to sell for me. So there's several different levels that, there's a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different things that I'm working on. And I've been working on it now for almost a month. And so when Sabrina contacted me last night about coming on board, it's like, okay, well, this is my opportunity to kind of stop meandering about this thing and just kind of throw it out there instead of, waiting, because I'm one of those people that kind of wait to get things out there until I'm like really ready. And, so it's like, okay, let's stop doing that. And let's throw it out there and see what happens.
Yeah. Bad girl.
But one thing that's really cool is that if you go there now, there's actually a link where you can say, hey, will you come check out my social media and, and tell me what you think, and I'll do a free assessment for you. And, we can schedule a time to talk about it. And, and I'll do that for free.
Awesome. Super cool. I do want to take just a moment, you guys, to plug networklivevirtually.com. Today we have Brooke Borup's group meets at 4 p.m. Here is the link for that. And Brooke is she's kind of a techie little toolbox kind of girl. She's got all these tools that she's teaching people how to use at her networking. And I think today is the second part of Zapier. Has anybody used Zapier? No, I can tell by the look. No. I love Zapier. I use Zapier. It's a kind of similar to If This Then That product, but I love Zapier. You can create zaps. You can make things happen. So anyway, Brooke will be teaching people about Zapier at 4 p.m. Eastern time today. There is a link if you would like to join her. I haven't seen you in a while, Eric. Where you been hiding?
Well,
Get antisocial on 22 Social.
Yeah.
I've been in the lab working on some things. I'm rolling out a new beta program, beta project that I'm going to be inviting. I've got a little niche of network marketers that I'm going to be inviting to participate in a beta program for helping them leaders and their teams build. I've had experience in network marketing. I'm not currently involved in any particular company promoting, but some of the tools through broadcasting and social media, lead capturing, and just understanding how to be social. I got really frustrated. And I think it's time that people really need to understand the value of online presence, but how to market, particularly on Facebook. They're all, marketing on your personal page is just a huge pet peeve of mine. But understanding how to really do it on a business page, and then how to help leaders create leverage with their network marketing business. The 22 Social application has a cloning feature. And when they really understand how powerful that cloning feature is, a leader could be syndicating on thousands of Facebook pages at the exact same time and helping their team build their business and build their brand. And so I'm going to be putting together, launching this week and inviting a few leaders who want to participate in a beta program before we launch this and start taking it to companies. So,
it's a good thing that I appreciate that you mentioned that, Eric, and I'm going to ask each one of you to go ahead and answer this question for people. I have discovered through conversations, and I have a lot of conversations, as you guys know, every single day I have a lot of conversations with people. The number one problem that is coming back to me time and time and time again with every single person I know that has built a business online, trying to build a business online or marketing online, is just that marketing. They struggle to market. They struggle to build that email list. And there doesn't appear to be a lot of guidance for that out there. What do you guys think about that, Steve?
Well, two things, and just so I don't forget, I want to come back to something Diana said in a moment about RSS. So I'll talk about that later. But I to deal with what you're saying about marketing, people equate marketing with selling. And so immediately their minds close in. They find it hard to face. They feel uncomfortable. They don't want to be talking to their friends and trying to sell them something. And marketing, although it involves selling or embraces selling, it isn't selling. And these days, under the new sales paradigm that exists all around us, it's not only that it's shifting, it has shifted, and we're in a new world. You can embrace inbound marketing or spiritual marketing or attraction marketing is a word I heard for it today earlier. And you can let your brand do the marketing for you if you know how to market your brand or build your brand. So marketing shouldn't be a dirty word. It shouldn't be something you fear. It should be something you embrace. And I know that there are actually a handful of marketing programs being developed and being shared. I'm actually working on one as well, dealing with inbound marketing. I've embraced that myself, and I love it, and the results are just amazing. I'm an early adopter, and I decided I want to share that with other people. So I'll be doing a fairly in-depth inbound marketing series shortly. But marketing is not to be feared. It is actually, like so many other things, it's easy if you know how. You need to get the help to find out how. Everybody should have a good mentor or coach if you're in online business. A support partner, a support group, somebody to follow on Blab. I mean, you don't have to hire it done, although you probably get better results if you do. But even just following Sabrina on Blab, Sabrina, your Network Live TV or Networking Live TV here that you're doing, you're on 5 days a week, aren't you?
Yeah, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
That's 5 days a week of guests and professionals that are sharing, and people should be following you.
And that's 5 days of marketing, right?
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Diana, how would you respond to that?
Well, I think one of the things is that, I'm actually, my degree will be in public relations, but I've spent most of my life doing public relations, even though I did not realize that it was public relations that I was doing. I was in financial services, spent a lot of time in sales, but I never really felt comfortable in that traditional sales arena. And the biggest reason for that is because I'm more social than that. And if I sat down with someone and I educated them and I talked to them, and if it didn't fit with them, there was no twisting their arm. There was no, making it work for me. It had to work for them because there was that more relationship building. And that is, I believe, the difference between public relations and marketing. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that marketing exists anymore. And I think personally, no offense, Steve, that we need to throw away that word. Marketing is a bad word. And that we need to look at it being more of a personal relationship, that we are building that relationship. And that's really what I want to focus on with what I'm trying to do. Even a lot of these places that talk about the brand that I've been, in my research as far as, in preparing for what I'm doing, they're still doing it from a very, I'm not even sure what the word is, but it's still, I don't know, it's still from that marketing perspective. And that's why, that whole, my little Twitter thing is, it's one a brand. It's very tongue in cheek. It's, you want to have fun with this, you want to be silly. You want to be, look, this is who I am. Let's have fun with this. Let's build a relationship here. And one of the things that I've really struggled on, and when Sabrina was talking about it at the beginning of my intro, which I really need to get you a new one.
Yes, you do.
Is that, because I spent so many years dealing with people face to face, trying to figure out how to bridge that gap now that it's face to camera.
Yeah, and there's a lot of face to camera.
Yeah, or face to Facebook, or face to Twitter, or face to whatever, and how to figure out how to have that conversation. I couldn't figure out how to do it until I realized that there's still a person on the other side. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing that we have to focus on instead of marketing, because marketing, at least to me, and I mean, I could just be me, but marketing to me still feels like I'm trying to sell you something.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So would you say, what do you think about that? Eric, do you think that people are confusing marketing and selling as well? I mean, because that's kind of what I'm hearing here. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, in our society, to your answer, I think so. But it's society today. There is this fear of pushing, selling something to someone. We have to remember one key thing. Until product or an exchange or value or however you want to look at it is exchanged, money, service, that the economy is at a standstill. Mm-hmm. So we cannot really be afraid of the word sales or marketing, but the reality of it is yes, people are afraid of that. So I understand that. I mean, because I like to think of myself as a person that sells without being salesy. Mm-hmm. It's about reputation management. When we're on our personal profiles, sometimes people really forget the things that they post and the things that they support. And people can really start to put you in a box of some negative things. But then you turn around and you want to promote business. It's very difficult. We have to remember one key thing I always share in all my classes is that people are on social media for a social experience. And if we have a product or service they need, we need to help people discover, and so that it's their idea. When it becomes their idea, people will gravitate toward it. But when someone is trying to push something onto someone unsolicited, it's not received very well. So I think there's some social etiquette that definitely has to be taught so that people understand how to become more attractive. The word Steve used earlier, attraction marketing, it's so key because you can either repel people or people will say, I want to be around that guy or girl or man or woman,
Imagine if you were at a party, Eric, and we were sitting around and we were talking, and all of a sudden I started, telling lewd and inappropriate jokes and all that kind of stuff. And so now you have a certain idea of who I am. And then all of a sudden I start talking about something totally and completely different.
Like selling me cabinets.
Huh?
Like selling me cabinets.
And now you're like, okay, now I don't know that I want to do business with this person unless you like the lewd and inappropriate person. But I think one of the things that we forget is that our social profiles are an extension of who we are. So the things that we post on our personal page is us. And so if we would not stand in front of that person and say the same thing in front of them, then it does not need to go on our wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like myself personally. I have there's three things that I generally you will not see me engaged in conversation with, and that's politics, religion, or racial issues in this country. Now, if a person wants to talk to me and get my feelings about things, we definitely can have a private conversation. But I choose the road of positivity, personal empowerment, edification of other people. I talk about the journey. I invite people in on my journey. I make myself, because of personal goals such as my weight release program, everyone on my Facebook page understands that I make that such a public thing. I invite people in. Come join me. Come work out with me. Come walk with me. Come do different things. I am known as a positive person. So you're not going to get negativity, drama, and all of that. So if we're going to talk about business, it's about edifying you. And so I'm not trying to say I'm the ideal key model on social media, but at the same time, I think people are more open to hearing other things when it's business related, because I'm not that drama-filled person that's promoting some sort of political or social agenda.
Well, and I got to say, having said all of that, I do want to mention that on my blab, one of my Network Live TV blabs last week, I had a couple people on, and I encourage everybody to reach out and connect with each other, because you never know what kind of collaborations or business referrals or relationships you'll create. And two of my guests on that show that day, one of them reached out to the other one, and they actually had a meeting. And during the meeting, she told me he spent the entire time just boom, 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 telling her about him, and never asked her a single question about her. Now, she is a professional networker. It's what she teaches. So I guess you all know how far that went. So I want to mention So let's talk about connectivity. I think that there's a real problem with people trying to reach out to meet people. What do you guys think about that, Steve? When you reach out to connect with people, how do you feel about how that goes and how it works?
I guess it all depends on your approach and your expectations, and both of those I think are keenly tied together. And if it's about me, I'm not going to engage with people very easily. If it's about them, they're going to want to engage with me. It's a human reaction, and so we can do that. Now, some people come to me for information, and so they want what I have to deliver, but I have to embrace them, engage them, and bring them into the fold to make them feel comfortable, not just be lecturing to them. And, it's hard for us to do as individuals. If we've got something that we like and to share, it can be difficult. And I want to reach out right now to Diana and ask her to further explain. You referred to, in your program that you're promoting, you referred to the power of RSS. And I'll wager that there are at least, what have we got, 9 people in the gallery right now? I'll bet there's at least one who doesn't know what RSS is or what it can do for them. What can you tell us about RSS?
There you go. You're on the spot now.
With blog posts, there are RSS feeds, or when things are posted on a website, there is an RSS feed. And I, forgive me right this second, I do not remember what RSS stands for. But every time something is posted on a website, this feed is updated. And on this program that I am working with, it allows you to be able to access this information. So like, for example, I've got like Mari Smith, which is like a powerhouse as far as social media. And so every time something new is posted on her website, this is immediately comes into my dashboard, and I can turn around and immediately post that onto my social media. And anything, and there are some that are already set up. And then if there is something that is specific, so, instead of it just being the regular niches that we are the most familiar with. You know, if your niche is, you know, Hello Kitty matchbooks, I don't know. That's kind of like a weird combination. But anyway,
Yeah.
I told you you were gonna get sleepy silly. You know, if you had some kind of strange thing where you're gonna get, you know, something that, you know, all you have to do is just get that RSS feed and you can put it into your dashboard and you can immediately have it instead of having to go to the website, bring it in. Or there are other websites, you know, content management websites where you can pay an exorbitant fee in order for them to provide it to you. And then you still have to, you know, copy and paste it or bring it into, you know, provide it to your, you know, social media accounts and stuff. So, you know, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, our RSS is a powerful tool that most people overlook. They don't even know it's there. That's the interesting thing about the internet, is that people tend to focus in on the area of the internet that they think is important to them, and they miss out on so many other things that are out there. I have the luxury of having been on the internet since before it was public, and I've watched it develop and grow, and the various things be added to it, and things fall by the wayside. RSS is a long-standing service that's been around since the early days of the internet, and most people today don't know it exists and don't embrace it, and it's just immensely powerful. So this program that you're promoting that embraces that is you know, there's a really good value there just from that one feature alone that people should look at. And going back to what Sherry asked about, it was Charlene, I think, or no, Sherry, who asked about websites and why WordPress. WordPress has RSS built into it. A lot of websites don't. Custom websites don't. RSS doesn't just scoop up everything off the internet. You have to actually send it to the RSS feed. And WordPress has it built in by default. It automatically works. It also has the ability to pull in. I'm gonna post a link to one of my pages for people who want to kind of get a view as to what RSS is and how powerful it is. This is a page on one of my websites where I bring in our RSS feeds from a number of bloggers who write on topics that relate to my website. And so I've brought in a resource that you know, delivers a huge amount of material that I could never deliver. In this particular case, I bring it in as snippets with links to their website. I could bring it in as full articles and post them. So there's different ways to do it. But it is an absolutely powerful function, and great to see that you're working with something that uses it, Diana.
Yeah, I was pretty excited too, because, you know, I was familiar with it, you know, before, but there wasn't a lot that could be done with it, and nobody ever really had done anything with it. And I knew Google at one point had, of course, now I can't remember what that's called either. I'm so sorry. My brain is not functioning. I've had like 2.5 hours of sleep. So it's like words just fail me. But, you know, Google had, you know, something that was really, I'm drinking at. You haven't seen my Minion cup?
Here, I got to show you guys mine.
Oh, it's cool. So anyway, when I saw that, I was like, that is just so cool. You know, the fact that it is so readily accessible, and you know, and you're right, and the fact that people don't really know it. And so I apologize. I should have been, you know, really, I should have been on the ball to explain exactly what that was, because I don't think about the fact that people don't realize.
I have to ask one quick question, Sabrina. Your cup, what are you setting it on? It sounds like a bass drum.
You can hear it?
Yes.
It's just my desk, and it's on paper. It's on it. I have a big desk calendar, you know, one of the big ones, and it's just sitting on that, on the paper even.
I mean, it's cool sounding, but it sounds like a boom, boom bass.
Yeah, it's her microphone. Yeah. She's got the microphone base resting on her desk or clamped to her desk, and it picks the vibration up from anything that goes on.
Oh, is that what
and
it
the
is?
boom mic, you're using your your boom mic.
I got it right here, you guys.
The boom acts as an attenuator, And so whatever goes into the base of the boom travels up along it, and the microphone then gets, what you're seeing as bass drums. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm not using anything except from my computer.
Yeah, we're not usually that
You're
lucky
fine.
though with Blab. So you got lucky this morning. It doesn't usually work as lucky that way. Good morning. Welcome, Robert. I want to take a quick moment also and just kind of recap for everybody that's here who each of you are and what you do. So, Steve, I'm going to let you do a quick, 1 or 2 minute pitch about who you are, what you do, and share your links for people that would like to reach out with you. And then Diana, if you'd like to follow him, and then Erica, if you'd like to follow Diana. So people can connect with you that would like to, that are here, because that's what we're here for, is virtual networking.
Well, my name is Steve. I'm known online as the WordPress Wizard. I do a lot of work with WordPress. I'm also a small business consultant and motivational coach. I predominantly work with solopreneurs, work-at-home business people, coaches, creatives, writers, and work with them on their websites, their online presence, which includes social media, and on their business structure as well. I say that I take people from website to wealth, and I can be reached at wizardsplace.com, and I'll post my email address and my website in the chat there.
Awesome.
I'm Diana Sandora, and I am currently working on social media brand.me. And I've also got my new Twitter handle, OneUpBrand. And we got the royal we going on, unless you count my cat, which is sleeping right now, so I guess that doesn't count. But it focuses on just building you and helping you to be able to connect socially across the web.
Mr. Eric.
Again, Eric Smith. My passion is really in just helping the solopreneur and the small business compete in the world where big businesses who have the bigger budgets to pay the big dollars in SEO and so forth. Well, we want to give you the same opportunity. And through the power of video, I love helping people get exposure in the world's top 2 places, Google and YouTube, and using the tools to help make sure you get exposed. But then as a leader, regularly being able to put your message out there so that people can find you. And really putting your message out there in the world of Facebook. I don't know of another platform that you can strategically get your message in front of the exact people you want to see and hear it in the way that they need to see and hear it. So it's like just serving it right underneath their nose. And I see a lot of people struggle with doing a lot of things online that are just not as productive. So when there are limited budgets, and limited experience and limited amounts of time, I like to help people shortcut that process down. We need to get all these other tools, but what's the fastest way we can get you to cash? Fastest way to exposure, capturing leads, generating a revenue, and putting that money back into your business to grow your brand and create profits.
Awesome, Eric. Thank you. And I just want to remind everybody, I'm your host, Sabrina Watson, founder of Network Live TV or networklivevirtually.com, where you can grow your business through creating live virtual relationships all over the globe. Our membership and meetings are free. So be sure to go to the website again. That's networklivevirtually.com. You can join there. It costs $1.49, which is a processing fee just to keep the bots out. You can go through the previous networking meetings that we've had and presentations and trainings that are available in those networking groups. They are, a lot of them, housed on the site, and find people that you may need to meet. And I am going to ask this question in just a second, but about who you want to meet. But first, I want to let everyone in here know that we're looking for people who are absolutely serious about building their brand and businesses while establishing their authority and creating a larger circle of influence to join us as hosts. We're going to looking for people with three main qualities. They're team players, self-motivated, and dependable. So if you feel like you have these qualities and you have what it takes to lead a virtual networking group, reach out to me and let's talk about the benefits of being a host with networklivevirtually.com. I'm going to put a link in. I'm going to put a couple links in. First link is for today's meeting, which is with Brooke Borup. All you need to do is register and you can attend. Even if you don't want to join the site, you can simply register and attend. If you do want to join the site, that will give you access to the replays and recordings that are on the site. Now, I know that each of you has been on networklivevirtually.com, and I want to ask you one at a time real quickly. Steve, what benefits did you find?
Well, it's a tremendous site. First of all, you mentioned about meeting people, networking. I have met some of the best people online through this site. So I encourage everybody listening here live today and in the replay, please go and check out this site. What an awesome thing. You sign up for the emails to get alerted when the hosts are doing their presentations, and that's free. And you can go in and sit on these live presentations and pick up great information and then network with people and meet some wonderful people. Some of the absolute best people online show up on Network Live Virtually, and that's not to even mention Sabrina, who is a wonderful host that I'm just, my life has expanded since meeting her. There's energy there that I love. So
I brought you to Blab.
Well, you did exactly, and I've embraced it. So it is wonderful. So I can't say enough good about it, folks. Go and check out Network Live Virtually. And I'm not an owner. I don't have any money in the pot. It's just honest from my own personal experience. I put it on the line for that. It's great.
How about you, Eric? Have you made some new connections there?
Yeah, I've made some definite connections. Matter of fact, Jeanette does her show on Tuesdays, which now she and her team are helping me with her virtual assistant company, or her virtual assistant services. So it's helping take some loads off of my plate, and so I greatly appreciate the connection, being able to meet her.
And Miss Diana, I'm not sure you've had an opportunity to reach out to anybody, have you? Or have you?
No, I have not. But I have been on the website, and there are a lot of really awesome resources. Of course, the replays, because unfortunately with my schedule with working nights and with school, it's very difficult for me to make it to these, to both the 4 o'clock and the 11. So, a lot of...
I know, then you would sleep not at all, right?
Yes. I'm beginning to think that sleep is highly overrated. I might sleep when I'm dead. But there are, it's really awesome that you can, always watch it later, which is really cool. Because sometimes, schedule just doesn't allow for you to be able to be there no matter how badly you'd like to.
And if you reach out to me, I will personally introduce you to anybody that you need to meet if they are in my sphere of people, which I track everybody. I know what their strengths are, their weaknesses, their personality types, what they do, where I have their information logged so that I can connect people. My goal this year is to connect to introduce 1,000 new people to our audience. So awesome. I'm not really counting that, you guys. So don't anybody be holding me to those numbers like at the end of the year, because I'm not going to really know the answer.
Well, Sabrina, you're at 239 at the moment.
Yeah,
well, that's followers.
Sabrina, we're kind of approaching the top of the hour. Do you mind if I share a link to my book to give it away free to the people?
Please do. Please do. Yeah, you guys, if you want to reach out and connect with Steve or Diana or Eric, please feel free to do so.
Well, this is a copy of my book. It's a PDF version of the one that I sell on Amazon. And please, if you don't like PDF, go buy it on Amazon. I don't mind, but it's the text of it available for you to download. And the only thing I ask is, if you take this book and read it and find even a little bit of value in it, share it with 2 other people, please. That's what networking is all about. So share this book with 2 other people if you find it of any value in your life at all.
So you guys, if you have any links, please feel free to share them. And also, I want to let everybody know tomorrow and Tuesday, I have Tennille Cooper and I have Steph with an F as my guest. And if you guys haven't met Steph with an F, you are in for a treat because she is a ton of fun, very dynamic, very spunky, right, Steve? She's got a lot of spunk happening. She's creating a business that I can't even really describe to you guys because it's so out there. It's something nobody's ever done. And it's so far out there that she is already wildly successful. She has, she does online. She'll read poems with you, dance with you, all kinds of crazy stuff virtually. She is really getting a big following. It's just, it's just exciting to watch her just like bring people into their own. So you guys don't miss Steph with an F tomorrow, as well as Tennille Cooper. I want to thank my guests for being here, Steve Henry, Reverend Stephen B. Henry, PhD, Miss Diana Sandora, and Eric Lamar Smith. So thanks, you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.